My name's Jeff, and I'm a killer.
And see beauty.
Honey, can you not do that?
Can you not whip it around like that? Put your meat back away. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and today we are back with another dun mukbang. So today I'm really excited because we have 4 packs of super spicy paldo. My dad said that, okay, my dad's in town by the way, and he said that this is comparable to the nuclear noodle spice level. I think I put in 3.5 packs of the spice when there's 4 noodle packets, so we might just be like cruising by on this one, but that's not the start of the show. So today we have an entire Spam block fried and dumped into the ramen. We have some Spam fries right here that have been fried up, and then Spam fries. We also have some Spam Sprite. We also have some Spam omelet fry.
I'm so excited to try that.
Nonsense. I've got some kimchi down here. Saw a comment that was like, no one, absolutely no one. Stephanie, I've got some kimchi down here. And then I also have some spicy ketchup to dip my fries in. So let's get started. Okay, I don't even know.
I'm gonna start with the fries.
I feel like this is like the perfect 3 ways to eat the Spam. I'm just saying. Oh, I forgot musubi, but that's like not even like a Spam thing. That's like a whole ass meal, right?
I'm gonna dip some ketchup.
You want some ketchup?
No, I just want to try one bite. Pretty sure it's gonna be gross, but.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna try a Spam with the ketchup. How is it?
Actually, not bad. Can I have some ketchup?
Wow, it's good. Oh my god.
What the heck?
What the heck? That's actually really good.
That's really good. That
wow.
was unexpected.
That's actually amazing.
Really
I need
good.
to try this one. I feel like, wait, do you in China put ketchup on your eggs?
No. Oh wait, we eat the classic egg egg and tomato ketchup. What is that? Is it good?
It's confusing because it's inside the Spam, so when you bite into it, you're expecting a Spam consistency all around, but no, you get hit with this soft, fluffy egg mixture. Wow, that's good. What do you think? Okay, I need to hit this ramen before it gets a little bit swollen.
Really good. This dip in ketchup, oh my god.
Yeah, it's so good. Wow, this is a really good, enjoyable spice though. Wow.
Whoa.
What's going on? Listen.
This is actually really good. What the heck?
With the exception of a couple videos I've done, I want to say it was IHOB was one that I vividly remember. The 1 chip challenge, of course. But majority of mukbangs I love, but the past week, I don't know if I've been like specifically extra hungry or if the food has been specifically better. But it just feels like my birthday or something, you know? It tastes so good.
Really?
I don't understand. I don't know what's going on.
Are you foreshadowing your birthday right now?
Also, if you guys want us to do an entire video, because I saw a lot of comments on his birthday video asking us to dive into if we believe in zodiac signs and astrology and what each one means and if there's a darker meaning, etc, etc. So he's a Scorpio, I'm a Sagittarius. What are you guys? Can you guys leave it in the comments if you guys truly believe in astrology and like your zodiac signs and that dictates your personality or maybe sometimes choices you make, or maybe like if you have an exponentially horrendous month, right? Instead of being like, God damn, June sucked. Are you like, let me look at the stars, and then do you get something out of it? Like, what made you believe in it? Like, did you watch something? Did you read something? Like, what should I read and watch to really understand it? Let me know in the comments.
I mean, just the fact that everybody born in this month or this period is the same personality, same.
But do you believe the Korean one more then?
The 12?
No, so that's Chinese zodiac, right?
There's a Korean zodiac?
No, we go by the Chinese zodiac too, but we have this thing where we believe that blood type dictates personality.
Oh my gosh.
And there's only like 4 blood types out of the world. There's A, B, B, O. Like if you had to choose between the Chinese zodiac, the astrology zodiac, and blood type, what would you guess is more accurate depiction of personality?
I don't know, man.
He's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to get canceled.
You're not Chinese. We don't even have specific personality for each zodiac.
What?
Yeah.
But there's ones that are preferable than the others. Wasn't every Chinese person trying to get pregnant? That's a generalization. F my life. Weren't a lot of Chinese people trying to get pregnant recently? Because it was like the year of the dragon, was it? Or something?
Never heard of that. I heard pig is popular.
I'm a pig.
Yeah.
No, doesn't he sound like he's trying to say like...
Yeah, you are a pig, you little pig.
But you know what? It wasn't as fun when I was a pig. Even if you say it's good. Because here's what happened to me. So 95 is pig, right? And then there's a cutoff. And then 96, like early 96, they're all turned into rats. You're transformed from a pig into a rat immediately. And all of the friends I hung out at church, they were all little rats. And they were all really, really like thin. And I was a bit of a chunkier kid. I don't know what happened there, right? But I was a cute, chunky kid. I looked like I knew Santa Claus. Like I looked like I ate Santa Claus.
Oh my God.
You know?
Okay, so that's why you believed in zodiac.
No.
You're like,
and that's
pig?
why
I'm a
everyone was
pig?
like, zodiacs must be accurate. And I was like, that's so rude. But look at me now, pigging out. Zodiacs must be accurate. So with that being said, we're jumping right into today's story, which is not about zodiacs, but it's actually about creepy ass Facebook requests. Because Facebook has been all over the news lately. It's been a shit show. Is that fake news? I think that's fake news.
What news? Poking at someone?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Do you guys still use Facebook? I'm not gonna lie, out of every platform I used, Facebook was the number one that got bullied. Might be just because that was more popular when I was in high school though.
You were more popular?
No, Facebook was more popular when I was in high school. And so I guess like that could also be why, but I just have like such a negative connotation with Facebook because that was the one social media platform where I was like incessantly bullied.
How?
Just like nonstop.
How?
Just lots of shit went down in those Facebook messages.
Just nobody liking your picture
Messenger,
or post.
and then oh my god, and then someone had sent me a picture of someone who had messaged them saying like, oh,
For like her birthday, like no one's gonna write on your wall.
because that's how you know if you're popular. Like it's no other day matters on Facebook but your birthday. And then I remember it went insane because at one point, like every time someone posted on your wall saying happy birthday, you would see each one pop up, right? But then they started doing this thing where it'd be like Janice, Kim, and 100 other people said happy birthday, wished you a happy birthday. And they would sum it all up. And so it was so easy for people to calculate how many birthday wishes you got compared to Susie down the block who's got double deep boobies.
Oh, you can see other people?
Yeah, on their wall, like if you scroll fast enough.
That's so interesting.
Back to their birthday, you can see.
Damn, that was so long ago. Okay. And what did you get?
Not a lot.
What's not a lot? Like 100? 50?
Like 70. I just really wanted to pass 100.
That's cute.
Yeah, that was like my goal. Like if I pass 100, I'm popular.
Well, now you're gonna get a couple more.
I'm just aiming for 80.
Are you fishing for comments?
It's like November 27th, but like don't leave me any comments, guys. Like it's so embarrassing. God. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get into it. Let me just take one more bite. This is really good. I feel like we're both scared of the spam. And you know what, babe? You know what they say when you're scared of something? Look it in the eye and just bite it. I'm scared.
What?
Can you not grab it? Like, can you not whip it around like that? Put your meat back away.
Thor.
Did you just say Thor with your little meat stick? Disgusting. Stop showing off, honey. Honey! My mic! Oh my gosh. You know?
Honey, what the heck?
I almost dropped it directly into my water cup. Could you imagine? Just like a piece
Gosh.
of... Did I spray you? Sorry. Okay. Okay. It's happening. We're gonna get into it.
Honestly, not gonna lie,
So good.
I actually love the fries.
Mm-hmm.
This was ketchup?
It's like the perfect
heck?
amount of spam in one bite, right?
Mm-hmm.
and not too much.
And you air fried it, so it's actually dry.
Yeah, it's not like that oily.
Super dry.
It's
and
good.
Kind of. Yeah.
Like jerky?
Good. Yeah.
With ketchup, tastes good.
Where did you even buy the little slice thing?
On Amazon?
Did you really?
I have a spam slicer. So no, I know that I want to act like I'm so dedicated and I spent 25 hours prepping the food and like cutting the little spam into spam fries. But I got this spam slicer where you just close it like this and everything slices into like musubi sized spams. And then you put it in again and then spam fries. Honestly, like listen, if YouTube ever fails, I'm going to go and try to sell those door to door because it was so useful.
Or they can just buy it from Amazon.com.
Rude. Okay, so this story all starts on Facebook. It goes from Facebook to one of the most infamous creepypastas that you've ever heard of, and it's Jeff the Killer, right? Jeff the Killer is probably one of the most OG, infamous, darkest. When I show this picture, you're gonna immediately know, hey, at least I've seen that somewhere by chance, right? This is the picture of alleged Jeff the Killer, which if you guys don't know creepypastas, they're not true, so this isn't like a...
Sorry, I'm just gonna look up the killer.
No, it's not that. Every time I say it's not true.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Oh.
And so this all starts on Facebook, right? It ties into an old middle-aged Asian woman on Facebook, possibly living in the Philippines, and it somehow ties to Jeff the Killer. And it's the creepiest thing ever. So there's actually a lot of dark Facebook stories, right? And it's not about the Zuck. It's not about politicians, which there's a lot of that, right? But a lot of it has to do with the fact that when you accept somebody's friend request, there's a lot of people who fish for friend requests, right? You might think, hey, what do you know about me? I might be just so attractive that every beautiful European woman wants to friend request me and only me and wants to talk to me. But you could be wrong, right?
Yeah, why do they always... What are these accounts that's constantly adding people?
So it's two things, right?
You looked into those? Mm-hmm. This is very creepy. Why? Why are they always adding people?
So sometimes it's a bot.
But why?
So there's multiple reasons why there could be a bot, right? And the main one so far seems that...
Oh, I know what it is.
What?
Fake news.
No.
No? They
Data.
don't add you and then they share fake news to
Data.
influence data? Mm-hmm. They get your data?
Yeah, so Facebook is known for being a data hub, and everybody has their data on Facebook, right? And Facebook has all your data. But a lot of the times, these days, people have gotten smarter, and they private their Facebook account. So now Facebook has all your data, and all your friends have your data, but a stranger doesn't have your data unless Facebook is selling it to them, right? So that's the whole debate about Facebook in Congress, right? But essentially, if you accept someone as your friend request, and they're really, really good, they could get as much data from you as possible in order to try to sell to you, scam you, or to get like just a bunch of data.
You should do a video on data because data is so freaking creepy. What do you think?
I get really creeped out.
I would like to know more.
Okay.
Because data is so freaking nuts.
And so a lot of the times they add you for those purposes. Another thing is they try to message you and scam you, you know, when you are a balding 70-year-old man, no offense, you're attractive, you've got a great personality, but you're balding and you're 70, right? And you're divorced or maybe you're married, right? What are the chances that every 20-year-old, you know, European woman just like saw your picture by chance on Facebook and was like,
I gotta have him, that one. Nobody else but that one. I want that baldy.
you know?
I got a lot of requests. Did you get the same request too? I wonder if for women, do they switch to a guy? Or is it still the same woman adding? Because most of them are women, the requests I get.
I feel like I got a lot of women too.
And what do you think?
You know, it's so weird.
Do you ever click on them? Because sometimes I fall for it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me just see what Katie is up to.
Who the fuck, Katie? And that's how we met. I'm just kidding. No, I just feel like you have to target women with women.
Really?
Okay, well, I could be wrong. But me, as a straight female, right? It could be different for non-straight females, right? But as a straight female, I feel like if I had a strange, attractive man friend request me or like add me on Instagram or whatever. Why do I sound 70, okay? Like, whatever, right? I probably would be like, that's a bot. I'm gonna get scammed. This is stupid, right? But if I saw an attractive girl add me, I'd be like, But why are you so pretty, girl? Like, shot that skincare routine. Follow. You know? So I don't know. I feel like that's the only way. Yeah. It's like the whole saying of like girls dress for girls, not for boys. So get out of here, boo.
Okay.
Like it means a lot more when a girl says, I love your dress, than when a guy says,
I like your shirt.
I'm like, it's a dress. Rude.
It's a blouse.
Blouse. Okay, sorry, I had to look at the viewfinder because I'm like, can they just see straight into the depths of my soul right now? Anyways, so essentially this is what's going on. Facebook requests, they're weird. Now, sometimes it's not even about Facebook requests. Sometimes it's about finding weird comments on Facebook. And this all started on a 4chan thread. There was a man who posted on a 4chan thread saying, hey, guys, I don't know if this is like such a noob thing, if I'm new and rookie-ish to Facebook, and maybe there's just a bajillion of these going around. Maybe it means something, but I don't know what it means. Can you guys inform me? Because I saw this one thread, right? It was a news post, and it seemed like fake news. It was a really weird article. It was kind of a dark article. Like, it wasn't one of those articles that was like, oh, there's plenty more fish in the Atlantic Ocean, influx of sea bass. You know, it was like a very dark article, and this middle-aged Asian woman, it seemed, had posted a very cryptic, half in English, half in another language comment about how, you know, she wants her husband to be cremated before her, or something like that. It was just really weird. But something about her picture, which was this,
Which one?
intrigued him.
I don't like this. Is this a real picture? I don't like this.
And when he sees my Instagram page. And so her name is Ori Chef. And because of this profile picture, right, he decides to click on her profile. Now, here's what's interesting. At that time, she had 0 posts, 0 anything, right? But she had a lot of friends that she had added onto her Facebook. And just out of curiosity, he started scrolling and he saw that every single friend request or every single friend that she had added on Facebook that was public had different variations of this picture. Some of them had the same picture with different names, and this was just hundreds of them, and all of them were the same picture. Or sometimes it would be photoshopped hair. Sometimes they would photoshop random features on, and it wasn't that good shit, right? It wasn't that good shit that celebrities pay for. This was, I mean, it probably wasn't even Photoshop. It was probably like Pick Stitch, you know? Like, it was just very, very creepy. Can you not look at me like that? You're really creeping me out. Why is he looking at me like this?
You're creeping me out. What's going on?
And so he sees that and he goes, that's really weird. Why would someone just have 1,000 Ori chefs as their friend? Like, it doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense, and they're all friends with each other. I mean, there's hundreds of them, and they're all made with detail. It's not like the same picture, Ori Chef 1, Ori Chef 2, Ori Chef 3, right? But it's like Ori Chef, and it's like Marjorie this. And so he starts to click on a few of them.
They're just the same photo, but different names.
Yeah, and
Okay.
sometimes the photo would be photoshopped with a wig on, or sometimes it'd be photoshopped with different eyes on.
Okay.
And it was just so creepy. And so he starts looking into it, and he starts opening a couple of those profiles and new tabs, and he notices something weird. Some of them have very weird, very interesting things on the little profile. You know how like Instagram, you can put something on your bio? Apparently you could have done that on Facebook, and it all would say things like cheese bread for my grilled cheese, or like meat for my meatloaf. Like just really random chef type things, but creepy.
Do we know if this is real? Oh, it is real. Huh.
This isn't the creepypasta. This is real.
And do you know if those accounts are still around, or they probably got
I
taken
believe
down?
Ori Chef is around. I will say this is one of my saltier mukbangs. Tomorrow I'm like, hi guys. My fingers have turned into spams. I'm just like, what's poppin'?
It's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah, it's actually
Kind of
like,
dark. No.
oh my god.
4 ways to eat spam.
Oh no! And then so he starts following this page for a while because he gets intrigued, right? It's not something that's like so overwhelmingly alarming, but he gets intrigued and he adds Ori Chef as a friend. What you start to find on Ori Chef's page is lots of animal gore, right? Lots of butchering animals. Now this could be explained in 2 ways, right? A, being that not every country is the same, and so what we feel like is really, really insane here in the United States, right? I'm sure that you guys have experienced this too. If you guys watch international mukbangers or ASMRists, sometimes you eat, like you see them eat things that definitely definitely you would never eat in the US, and it's like definitely not okay to eat it in the US, but it could be widely accepted in their country. Now, I'm not saying something's right or wrong. I'm just saying, you know, one thing is more acceptable in other countries.
Yeah.
And so it did seem like she was based in the Philippines, and it did seem that she was a chef. So he didn't understand if she was posting this as almost like a dark web type of thing, or if this was just part of a normal day for Ori Chef. She's a chef, and this is, you know, her meat that she's about to cook. But it just wasn't your typical type of meat that you would eat in the United States, right? I know, I just triggered every single vegan alive. And so it is very triggering, and it is very dark, right? And then she would post random things about her day, and then she would post random things, and then just distorted pictures of her face, and it was just incredibly creepy. And so at one point, this gets posted onto 4chan, everyone gets intrigued, and so they start messaging her on Facebook, and she actually responds to somebody, right? And she said that, listen, you don't need to be alarmed because I made all of those accounts to play games. But people were still alarmed because it was very, very creepy. And so lots of 4chaners would add her on Facebook, try to talk to her, try to figure out like, hey, why are you posting these things? And she would post things in English, but I don't know if it was the language barrier or if something really was going on, because it almost hinted like she was hinting at abusing her children. So it was very strange.
Wait, did you say she made all those accounts herself to play like Facebook games? Mm-hmm. Like those...
Like Candy Crush.
Sugar Crush, yeah. What? Why? Because she can't pass a certain level.
Oh my gosh. So everything reaches the climax in this story when she posts this picture. Now, I know that you guys can see this picture, but I feel this very crazy impulse to just kind of recreate the picture for you guys. So it's of this woman who has this very blurred, just overexposed, super pale face, right? And she has like this very creepy, just everything about her is creepy. But the biggest, creepiest part, in my opinion, right, is the fact that it looks like she cannot close her eyes. It looks like she has no eyelids. So it just looks kind of like this.
I think they're a little different, but okay, that's still creepy.
Your face. Why do you hate me? And the creepiest part is, you know, it doesn't look like she's opening it because she looked around and she saw a flash and she's shocked, or her eyes were open because she's shocked about something or surprised. It just looks like there's no emotion in her eyes, but she can't close them. And it's just this very creepy feeling. And so she posts this picture along with this long caption story where she says, hi, so I just want to share a quick story with you guys. This is a woman by the name of Daphne. Now, here's what's interesting about Daphne. She was a close family friend of ours. That's like creepy. That sounds like a Facebook request or some shit. Okay. My life. Okay. And so she goes, Daphne has been a close family friend of ours for quite some time. I've known her since I was about 5 years old. Now, what's interesting is that she was best friends with my dad, and every Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. she would come over just like clockwork, and they would sit in the living room and talk hours and hours and hours on end about, you know, this and that. And it would just be normal everyday stuff. Until one day, Daphne approached the house and she looked incredibly sad. And we were like, why does she look so sad? And so my dad opened the door and he goes, you know,
Daphne, like, what's wrong? Why do you look so upset? What's going on? Tell me everything.
And so she sits down in the living room and she goes, no, you don't understand. I'm gonna get surgery because I'm gonna be prettier. And he goes, but Daphne, you are already gorgeous. You don't need surgery. Daphne, this is nuts. And she goes, you know, I found this one person who will do it for super cheap, and I'm gonna do it whether you like it or not. And as a friend, I would love for you to support me.
Do they have her photo from before? Okay. So she could just very likely post it like a made up horror story, right? With a creepy photo. There's so many fake news on Facebook already, you know?
How is it still good? And so then the day finally arrives where it's time for her surgery. And so Daphne calls the dad over and says, can you help me recover, right? Can you help me take care of me for the next 2 days? Because I'm going to need someone to open the doors and feed me, blah, blah, blah. And so he goes over and he comes back almost immediately. And so then, you know, Ori's chef is like, hey, Dad, why are you home so early? I thought you were going to be gone taking care of Daphne. And he goes,
Daphne is dead.
What?
and she goes, what? And then he says, you know, she wanted to be beautiful, but then she ended up just taking her life because she didn't feel beautiful. She kept looking into the mirror with her crazy eyes, and she just felt like she didn't see beauty.
Honey, can you not do that?
Sorry. And so then she took her life. And she's dead. Now, I say this with very little emotion right now because this doesn't seem like a true story at all, right? And so, apparently that was the last picture ever taken of Daphne, and she posted it along with this story. Now, this got a lot of 4chaners worried because they were like, "What is going on? Is this lady a troll? Is this even Ori Chef? Is this even a middle-aged woman in the Philippines, or is it some creepy dude in freaking the Midwest? I don't know where it could be, right?" And so they start doing some more digging, and everyone goes, "Hey, is it just me, or does that picture of this woman look so familiar to another picture on the internet of Jeff the Killer?"
Who's Jeff the Killer?
I'm about to tell you. So Jeff the Killer is a very short, very infamous, popular creepypasta. It's not one of my favorites, right? But it's very infamous. Now, some people truly believe that this creepypasta is real for some reason. Some people, right? Because I believe that when you make something up, right, and you create this this image of somebody and you do all of these things, especially when it's scary, at any moment after you read it and you turn off the lights, you too quite possibly could think that you saw this person standing in the corner of your room.
Yeah, you just take off your makeup and...
Beats! And then he's like, "Oh wow, Jeff?" I'm like, takes off my makeup. "My name is Jeff."
My name is Jeff.
My name's Jeff. His name is Jeff the Killer. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a short story about Jeff the Killer and how he came to be. He was posted on Creepypasta, and it just went viral to the point where people, kids specifically, they claimed that they saw Jeff the Killer in their bedrooms. So essentially, Jeff the Killer, he's a killer. And his kill of choice, young kids.
He's a hot baker.
He's a heartbreaker killer. He's
Cold-blooded
a cold-blooded, heartbreaking killer.
My name's Jeff, and I'm a killer. I'm a hot baker.
So they posted this story. Now, this all starts when a boy by the name of Jeff and his older brother by the name of Lou and his two parents, they move into a completely new neighborhood. His dad had just gotten a promotion for a job and they decided to move into one of those fancy neighborhoods, right? And become one of those fancy people, he said. And so they all moved in and they were unpacking, and one day they hear a knock on the door. And so the mom rushes. She leaves her unpacking dishes in the kitchen and she opens the door. And they go, "Hi. Hello, I'm Karen. Welcome to the neighborhood. I brought you oatmeal cookies," which are the worst cookies. Worst impression. Oatmeal raisin cookies. And so then they'd be like, "Wow, it's so nice to meet you. Where'd you get your skirt? Your lawn is beautiful." And they were like, "Wow, it was nice to meet you. Do you have children?" And so then they started getting talking and they said, "Well, I have Jeff, I have Lou," and then Karen was like, "Well, that's so interesting because I have two boys as well, and we're actually having a birthday party this weekend. And the entire neighborhood is coming. You must come." And so then obviously she's like, "Absolutely, we'll be there. Thank you for inviting us." And they say their goodbyes. Now they close the door and Jeff goes, "Mom, I don't want to hang out with those losers. They're like 5, right?" And he's 13. And so the mom goes, "Listen, Jeff, we just moved in here. We're gonna make a good first impressions. That's it. No more conversation," right? And so he goes, "Ugh." And he goes to the room.
Well, you're doing good.
Thanks.
Really
And
good.
he goes to the room and he starts typing away on his computer and he puts on his headphones and he's like, "My mom sucks." And so then Jeff sits there and he's listening to music and he's just like annoyed. Like he doesn't want to leave like his old friends from his old school. You get it, right? And so he's laying in the bed and he's like, and then all of a sudden he starts getting this weird feeling and he's like, "What's that?" Right? And then he's like, "I feel weird. It's not even like pain. It's like this weird thing," right? And he just felt weird. And this persisted until tomorrow morning. And so then tomorrow morning he wakes up and it feels like a slight tingling sensation. And it just tingles. And he goes, "This is weird."
Where?
And so just all over his body. Right? And so him and Lou are now due to go to the school bus stop, right? And so they're walking and Jeff's like, "Oh man, I just feel so weird. I just don't know what to tell Lou," right? And they start walking, and they sit at the bus stop curb and they're waiting for the bus to approach when they have these couple of young kids. They look maybe about 12 years old approach them. And they look like total douches. You know bits, right? You can be 12 and a douche at the same time, right? And so they approach and they're like, "Hey, you new here?" And Jeff goes, "Yeah, we're new. And so he goes, that's cool, that's cool. I just want to let you guys know, before you get on that school bus, though, there's a fee. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this a private school? Is this a public school? Buses don't charge, for school buses. They're trying to hustle them, right? So he says, for all the young kids, there's a fee to get on the bus. And so then Lou is like, well, we're not giving you shit, right? He's the older brother.
How old is Lou?
14.
Jeff is 13.
Yeah.
And these kids are 12.
But they're like really big, apparently, according to the author. The author said that one of the kids looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling around as a baby. So I don't know what that means, but okay.
Are you for real right now?
Yeah, being for real. That's what the author said. I kindly left that part out because I was
the
like...
The author said one of the kid looked like he's been crawling around since he was a kid?
He hasn't had any exercise since he was a baby and he crawled around.
I don't understand that sentence. What does that mean?
Like, he's very large and it looks like he never exercised.
Just all I can picture is just a giant baby. Like, it's like a giant baby. Okay, fine.
And so they're crawling around, right?
Okay.
Wait, no, they're not.
Oh, man.
You tricked me.
So hard to follow.
Today's just one of those days where I'm not in a creepy mood, I guess. I thought I was, but going into this and
You're
just...
doing so good.
It's in giggles right now, okay? Okay, and so then they go, oh yeah? You're not trying to pay right now? Well, how about now? And they pull out knives, little pocket knives that they had in their pockets. And so Lou goes, oh, okay. And he holds back Jeff and he goes, okay, we get it. You need to calm down. I have my wallet in my pocket. I'm going to reach for it, okay? And so then they go, yeah, give us your wallet, right? And so he grabs it and they take it out of his hand and they go, all right, that's your fee for the day.
They took the wallet, okay.
Yeah. And so then Lou's like freaking pissed, but what can he do? And so then Jeff, he starts getting that tingly feeling again. That tingly feeling, and he turns into a Marvel superhero. And he gets that tingly feeling, and he's like, damn, I gotta pee. I'm just kidding. He gets that tingly feeling, and he grabs the main guy. And as the dude is about to stab him, he starts just beating the shit out of all of them, right? But that's not the scary part. This isn't even the scary part of the creepypasta. That's why I'm just breezing through it. He starts beating the shit out of them and stabbing them, right?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. Like 5 of them. And they all have knives. And one of them is a big baby.
And he was fine, Jeff?
And he was fine.
Okay.
And he completely obliterated all of them. They were all on the ground just like, what do I do, right?
Yeah.
And so then him and Lou get onto the bus and they run away. And they're like, you know what? It's going to be fine. No one's going to find out. They're like, they have too big of egos to even tell their parents, like, I got beat up by this kid by the name of Jeff, right? And so then they go home. And all of a sudden when they're home...
Police, open up.
And so the mom opens the door and she goes, hello, are you here to welcome us to the neighborhood? Are you the local precinct? Blah, blah, blah. And they go,
No, we're actually looking for Jeff, a kid named Jeff.
and so Jeff walks downstairs and he goes, what's going on, right? And so the police say, you're about to get a year in juvie. That's what's going on. You're about to get your ass in the slammer because you just knifed up some kids at the bus stop. What are you, 13? You're going to juvie, right? And so then the mom is like, there must be a misunderstanding. My child, Jeff, could never, right, sis? Could never. He's unproblematic AF, right? And so then Jeff is like, well, they started it. And the police are like, what do you mean? There's no proof. All 5 of them started it and you alone beat the shit out of them? How does that make sense? How does that make sense, right? If all 5 of them started it, they would have ended you. The numbers game, right? So Jeff's like, you don't understand. I don't know, right? And then all of a sudden, Lou appears at the top of the stairs and the police draw their guns.
What?
And so Jeff goes, what just happened? Why? And he looks up and Lou is standing there holding a knife and he has cuts all over his arms. And he goes, no, it's true. They started it. Look, I was injured too. And it didn't look like fresh cuts. It looked like he had done this maybe a couple hours prior. Maybe he knew this was going to happen.
Why is he holding a knife?
And he was saying, this is the knife that I took from them.
Huh.
Because they tried to stab me, and they did, and I stabbed them back. It was me. Jeff was, hiding. He's a little bitch. And so the mom goes, Lou, I'm so disappointed in you. And the police take him away, and they spend the rest of the day at the police reports, all of that, and he ends up he has to go to juvie for a year.
Okay.
And so then Jeff is so disappointed, and he just feels so guilty that he's the reason that Lou's in jail. And so he's sitting on the couch, and his mom goes, Jeff, what are you doing? Go get changed. And he goes, why? she goes, it's time for the birthday party. The neighbor's birthday party. Karen invited us. And so he goes, Mom, are you kidding? Lou is in juvie. Why the hell would we go to a 5-year-old's birthday party? And so she goes, it doesn't matter. We need to proceed with our lives as normal. And if now, more than ever, we need to try to make a better first impression. Go put on your nice clothes. And so then he gets sent upstairs and he drags his feet up each step, just thump, thump, thump. And he puts on a hoodie and he comes downstairs and his parents are wearing like suits and ties and and he's like, why are you guys going like that? And he's wearing a white hoodie. So they get to the party. Now there's all these 5-year-olds. They're playing. They're dressed up as cowboys. And it's like really stupid. And they have these toy guns. And they're all like water gunning each other down. Like, haha, welcome to the Midwest. Right? And they're doing all of that. And he walks in and he's like, why the hell am I here? This is so boring. This is stupid. And he starts grabbing a gun. Just like, okay, whatever, like, let me just spray you down with some water, weirdos. And they're all like yelling, screaming, and then all of a sudden, in comes 5 boys, battered up in bandages, jumping over the fence. And then they start just beating up Jeff, right? And Jeff isn't doing anything. He doesn't feel tingly. He doesn't have that superhero power no more, right? This sounds like Iron Man. And so then he's just taking it. He's just getting beat up, right? And so he tries to run away into the house. He opens the back door. They go into the kitchen. He's trying to look for a knife or something to defend himself with when one of the kids finds a vodka bottle and just smashes his head on the vodka bottle and it crushes and he's now soaked in vodka and just it's disgusting and they start spraying him down and and then he's like, okay, I need to run upstairs. Now this is all happening when the parents are trying to stop it, right? The parents are outside, but all of them are so scared because all these kids seem to have weapons and they're uncontrollable. What? And so he even grabs, like, I forgot what he grabbed, but he killed one of those kids in the scuffle in the kitchen. And the parents were just so confused what to do. I mean, what would you do? I mean, as long as my kid wasn't involved, I probably wouldn't be like, let me jump in front of 2 kids and a knife, probably. I don't know. But I'm also a tiny little wuss, right? Okay. And so then he rushes up the stairs and he's trying to find a place to hide. And all of them are like, what, you ain't gonna hit us now, right? And so then he's like rushing up the stairs and he goes into a bedroom. He opens the door and as he's about to close it and lock it, 2 kids, they bust through the door. And then all of a sudden he gets tingly and he just starts beating them to the ground, both of them, to the point where you can't even see what's going on with them, right? And they're both laying there just completely bloodied and he's just feeling weird. He's like, this tingly feeling, I can't get rid of it. And one of the kids starts laughing hysterically. And so Jeff, tingly and annoyed, he goes, why are you laughing? And he goes, 'cause you're covered in vodka. And he reaches into his pocket, takes out a lighter, and throws it at Jeff. And he bursts into flames. And so he starts trying to put out the flames and he starts rolling around. But he's been so drenched in vodka and apparently one of the kids had sprayed him down with lighter fluid. So he's just an inferno that cannot be stopped. And the next thing he remembers is his parents screaming as he blacks out. And then he wakes up again and he's in a hospital. And so he wakes up and his family are sitting around him and he can't move. And so they go, don't be alarmed. Everything's going to be okay, Jeff. Also, your brother's here. Your brother's here. The kids, they attacked you and they told the police that they attacked you the first time at the bus stop. So Lou doesn't have to go to juvie for anymore, right? Lou doesn't have to go. And so then he just looks around and they all just look so concerned. And they go, Jeff, you have bandages all over you because you have 1st-degree burns. We're trying to fix it. We're trying to get the doctor to do some, surgeries. And you should be okay, Jeff. You should be okay.
Jeff also killed one of the kids.
Self-defense, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they go, you should be okay, Jeff. You should be okay. And so weeks of this go by with the family visiting every day. And then finally the day comes where the doctor is going to take off all the bandages and see what's going to happen. Because, when he was lit afire, there was vodka, there was lighter fluid, and there was bleach involved. And so there's a lot of chemical burns as well as just the burns of the fire that they're dealing with. And so they really didn't know what was going to happen. They did the best that they could, right? And so they unbandage him. And all of a sudden, his mom goes, and she leaves the room crying. And so everybody looks at him, and they just don't know what to do. The dad and Lou are sitting there like, and so then Jeff goes, what? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And he goes to the bathroom, and he sees his face. And the bleach, you would think that, when you have 1st-degree burns, your face is all red. But the bleach had completely bleached his skin to almost a leathery, pure white texture.
I don't know if it actually works like that, but
there was no color of skin on his face.
wow.
And so his eyes looked all creepy, and his lips were almost burned to this deep shade of bloody red. And he just kept looking at himself and looking at himself, and Lou comes over and goes, "Hey, Jeff, it's really not that bad. Don't worry, Mom's just emotional. It's not that bad." And Jeff looks at him and goes, "What do you mean?" "It's perfect." And so Lou's like, what the hell is going on, right? And so Lou rushes over, tells his dad and his mom what he just said. And so they tell the doctors in a separate room, and the doctors are saying, "Listen, he's been on painkillers, he's woozy, he probably doesn't even understand. Give him some time, we can discharge him tonight. I think if he's in a familiar environment, it'll be better," right? And so then they take him home, and in the middle of the night, the mom hears something, right? Jeff is supposed to be sleeping, and she goes, "Oh, maybe he's in pain, maybe I need to give him more meds," right? And so she goes to the bathroom where he is, and she hears giggling, just... And he goes, "Jeff, sweetie, are you okay? Jeff." She opens the door, and Jeff turns around, and she goes, Sweetie, why would you do that? Why did you do that? What did you do? What have you done? What did you do? What have you done?" And so then Jeff goes, "Mom, I looked so good. I wanted to keep looking at my face. I was so happy with how I look. I was so happy that I just couldn't stop smiling. I was so happy. But then, Mom, my face hurt from smiling so much. My cheeks started to feel sore. So I was like, oh no, what can I do? And so now that I've cut my cheeks, I'll always be smiling, Mom. Don't I look better when I'm smiling? Isn't that what you always said?" And so then the mom goes, "Sweetie, why would you do such a thing, honey?" First of all, she's calm. She's calm as fuck. Weird.
Is this the audition tape for the next Joker?
And so then she goes, "But sweetie, what about your eyes?" And he goes, "Well, I just wanted to make sure I could keep looking at myself. And so I had to get rid of my eyelids so that I could keep looking at myself." And so she sees that he had completely tore off his eyelids and cut the glass glow smile into his mouth. And he looked at her and asked her this one very important question. And he said, "Don't I look better now?" And the mom said, "Yes, sweetie, you look great. I'm gonna go get your dad so that he can tell you how great you look." And so she turns around and she's about to make a run for it to go tell her husband to get the gun because their son is losing it. And
What?
he grabs her by the hair, puts his mouth up to her ear and goes, "You lied," and kills her and the rest of his family. And now he goes around killing children. Character development was good.
You lied. That is creepy. I don't like that.
So next time your boyfriend cheats, I'm just kidding. You lied. You lied. So that's the story of Jeff the Killer. Ta-ha.
So that's where that famous
Yeah.
picture came from. It's very famous, right?
Yeah.
That's this story?
Well, see, Jeff the Killer is very famous because there's a bajillion variations of it now.
Why?
Because the premise of it is so simple. It's somebody who completely loses all sense of sanity. And it's a young person too, right? And it's to the point where they even lose their own family that it seemed like they had a relatively good relationship with, right? And so the premise of it is pretty simple. And so you could just take it even darker or this way or dark this way. And so there's just so many spin-offs of it. But this picture will forever be associated with the creepypasta Jeff the Killer. So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts?
Good acting you did there.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, you look cuckoo, but that was good. Like,
I'm like, I wasn't acting. What are you? I was just having a conversation. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts about Jeff the Killer? Do you think that this is actually a creepypasta? Are you more into creepypastas where it's like, there's a serial killer that lives next door and not just like, oh, some kid went cuckoo or cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I love you guys so much and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.